Some pretty cool revelations in the last first kind of play bit before the break. We found out that Hannah, or I'm calling her Twin One, I guess, for now, until I figure out what's going on, said she discovered a body in some bin bags in the attic, or cellar, rather. So we're going to try to follow that line. So let's look at let's look for body. Whoa! Guitar. Interesting.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen.
Something about a bruise.
I found the body.
Found the body. Something about a bruise. So I'm gonna have to look up that one.
His body didn't look real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses.
Glasses.
He doesn't always wear them.
Interesting. So this, I mean, these are going to be pretty close together, these bits. Let's just take a look at the timestamps. 2055, 2054, 2052. They're a bit spaced out. So then there was something about a throat as well. Was that this one?
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to
Oh no,
Santi.
no, this is the one I'd already seen. It's this one.
The bruise.
On her
I have a
face,
really fast
I guess.
metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes.
Bruise on face.
I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body. His body didn't look real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear them.
I think that's going to be important. Like, why would they mention that? It wasn't important. What is this?
Really? Okay. Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the dock to oh, the wind and the rain, till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bones. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
It's like the first kind of cheery bit that we've seen so far. That song was very dark for considering the upbeat nature of the music. Sorry, of the guitar play. I have no idea which twin this one is. I don't think we've seen this blue shirt before. I wanted to add this one to the session because I think it's important in terms of the murder. That we find out that his throat is cut, and she had a bruise on her face. So there might have been some kind of struggle at some point.
Can you imagine? I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen.
Pregnant.
As it was so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? Felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
So this is definitely twin one. It's not Hannah. It's Eve, sorry. It's Eve. I'm assuming it's Eve. Okay, that's interesting. So it says 600 sound, access limited to first 5 entries. Can I not see the rest? Oh, I can go back and query history. Like, why? I can't see the 6th one? Just search again or something? I guess in order to see the next one, you have to kind of... The idea is that you have to find the next keyword, so... It might prevent you from, like, watching stuff in order. Which it sounds like this game is trying to stop you from doing. It must have been hard to design, but they would have had to have, like... In order for you not to be able to see, like, the whole video in order, the whole interview in order, they had to, like, really think about how to prevent that, and this probably is one of the ways. You can only see 5 videos at a time. Lots of stuff to look up now. The seller. I want to look up seller first. So I've got seller. He's got the bruise, the throat being cut, the glasses, the pregnancy. So Eve seems to have not been able to get pregnant herself. Now she's saying that Hannah really screwed things up, which is starting to lead me more down the path that this is like a multiple personality kind of thing going on, because maybe the failed pregnancy screwed up Eve's ability to get pregnant, and there, since they are part of the same body, she's blaming her, and that starts to go like that leads me back to my other train of thought with the diary, that they're writing down each other's experiences because they're the same person. They're living the same life, just in one body, just 2 personalities. I'm gonna get right into that personality. No. Mental illness. Well, I'm going right for it. No. What's schizophrenia? Is it schizophrenia? It's multiple personality disorder called. No. Dissociative identity disorder. Yes. Dissociative identity. Identity. Okay. Something came up.
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know.
Man, that's strange as hell. That just raised way more questions than answers. Maybe this isn't even a police interview. This is the red shirt, which I think was Hannah. They're showing her pictures, but they don't appear to be of, like, her or
Okay.
a twin, quote-unquote twin.
She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad.
She's not
Guess-
guilty, she looks scared.
She broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty.
Scared and guilty.
Maybe it was mistaken identity.
Mistaken identity.
Did they catch her there? I don't know.
Okay, this is a picture of her. Like, odd. Okay, let's get back to the other thread I was kind of chasing down. That is the body. I looked up seller.
No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there.
Mushrooms.
The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
So, few important things there. The stuff seems to have come from their house, so implies that obviously someone in the house did it. Mushrooms, it's weird. Search more about that, maybe.
Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had been there through my things. It's like I'd been burgled. Only worse, obviously, I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in, as good as new, he said.
Great.
But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So,
This is after... I feel like this is one of the initial interviews. When she's wearing the red. This is definitely way after. A few days after. So a couple things there. There's a funeral cremation. Maybe we can get some more information there. This is like several days later too.
it happened very quickly.
This seems to
We
be...
hardly
This is the
ever
other
talked to each
twin.
other. We agreed almost
Eve.
silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later.
Okay.
We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger.
Wow.
Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch,
Watch.
to make sure the alibi stuck.
Wow. That's big time. So she's basically saying that they did it. Eve is basically saying that. Or at least that... So there's a mirror too. Do we want to look up something about a mirror, broken mirror? Want to watch that
It
again?
happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered.
Baby.
We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone.
Clothes.
We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Lots of things there. She said, we. So that's once again kind of reaffirming to me that this is like a multiple personality thing. So many things to look up now. Let's go mirror. Excuse me. 11 entries. Okay. Some we've already watched. These are the ones where she's talking about looking, like when she looked at Eve. Oh, okay, or the glass thing. Is there a way to like exclude? Speaker uses that word. Narrow the search using multiple words. Robbery supermarket. Okay, so broken mirror. One entry found. Break mirror. Even more precise. Exact match. Yes, I was there. Okay, well let's see what these ones say. This one was, that's talking about her job. Or Simon's job. Ernst Ernst Brothers.
It wasn't the present so much, it was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story.
It's a princess again.
He made it especially for me.
So there's some gift. He gave her some.
It wasn't the present so much, it was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it especially for me.
This is on the 25th. So some kind of argument over the gift, but she's saying that it had been simmering for a while, maybe because of the baby being lost. I think that's probably important. But that's something I'm gonna have to look up. Argument. She looks happy in this one. And I'm not sure which one this is. Probably twin one. There seems to be more interviews with Hannah, as opposed to Eve.
Yeah. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since.
Okay, so the mirror that was broken is probably that gift. Is that more images?
Silverleaf? No.
Oh, that's...
He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm thinking that if you were involved in the murder of your husband and the mirror broke during that murder, I wouldn't hold it up to look inside, look at my reflection in it, smiling, unless you like are a bit nutso. Yeah, it's very, I like the symbolism there. You've got this, the mirror keeps coming up, and this multiple personality thing pans out. You've got this idea of this imperfect image that she's looking at in the mirror, and she likes the fact that she doesn't, if she does look in the mirror, she doesn't see herself perfectly because she doesn't really like herself. And her image is a bit deformed. Alright. Mirror gift. Let's look at this argument. 9 entries. Wow. Okay, I haven't seen any of these. That's good.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all.
Still not back.
Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
So this is on June 18th. So he's disappeared. At this point, but they haven't found or she hasn't found his body.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back.
So I'm going to start a
Waited all
timeline.
day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job, but he didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you.
Job, he didn't show. So he
Something
didn't
on
show Saturday afternoon.
Job, he didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
So then we've got this
So
Saturday, Friday night, but not since.
seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
So dinner time. Still not back. And then when did she decide to see the police?
This morning. It just isn't like him at all.
So Sunday morning, I guess.
Still not back by dinner time.
Yep.
It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
I assume that's Hannah. Goes to police. So that's like Saturday after dinner.
No. I think he spoke to Helen.
Helen.
She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
Blonde. Okay. Like when he's saying he, when she's saying he, it's kind of like I don't know. I don't know if she's talking about Simon or someone else. Interesting. Interesting. We haven't heard that name yet.
He's married couple stuff. A stupid argument. Nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to.
Stupid argument. That's not very interesting, but
He's married couple stuff. A stupid argument. Nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to.
this is true. So she's implying that he is trying to start something.
No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
There's been many arguments. I mean, that's not surprising, though.
Yes.
This is much later.
He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay. My timeline here. 8 p.m.
Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
That's important. So there was an argument Friday, sometime before 8 p.m. He left. They saw him at the Rock afterwards. Then he was supposed to go to a job Saturday afternoon. He didn't show up for the job with Eric. See, when she says him, she could be talking about Eric. Then he also didn't come back. We're talking about Simon, didn't come back for dinner. And then Hannah goes to the police afterwards sometime. We're starting to get like specific times now, which is cool. Let's look at there's some things I want to go back to. Glasses, throat. The throat being cut. Looks like she's talking more about it here.
On his throat. How?
His throat, how? What?
On his throat.
In his throat.
How?
Okay. This is that's Hannah, and this is Eve, I think.
Like I said before, it was 3. Something
3.
like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut.
Okay.
There was a lot of blood. Yeah, he was dead.
3 p.m. So that we got a picture of Simon there again. I assume it's Simon. So the question is that 3 p.m. on Friday or Saturday? If we believe what Hannah has to say, then it would have been Saturday because he took off at 8 p.m. on Friday. So at 3 p.m. he sees Simon dead. Throat cut. Just wrote it below my timeline because I'm not sure where to place it yet. But that's super important. Body. Body found. Body in.
Like I said before, it was 3. Something like that. I walked in.
Just says 3, not 3 p.m.
Saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room.
Living room.
His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood.
Blood is another one I can look up. Blood.
He was dead.
It's like, did you hear that? There's like birds in the background. Like, where's she being interviewed here? Body's in the living room. Okay. Let's check out the next one.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes.
Wig.
Pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror.
Another one.
Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Haha. Okay. Wow, okay, that's coming together big time. If we're to believe her. So Simon, according to her, Simon wanted to be with Eve. I'm still working under the assumption they're twins here, but I think there's a multiple personality thing going on. And it sounds like Eve would wear a wig to kind of distinguish herself from Hannah. And so Simon gave Hannah a mirror that was like supposed to be a personalized gift to her, and then Hannah decided to dress as Eve, and Simon gave who he thought was Eve the same gift. It was actually Hannah.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes.
Wig, okay.
Pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror.
Like, how could she know
the
this?
one he'd given her earlier.
How could she know this unless she was there?
That
Like,
unique present.
so they must. It
She
must
went
be.
crazy, smashed the
It must
mirror.
be inhabiting the same
They
body.
argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Okay, so let's look at this. Description. This is very important if I haven't added it already. Let's go down this thread a bit more. Wig.
A wig? You mean?
Starting to run out of
What
paper.
type of wig? No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
Hannah never wore one. Never wore a wig. Oh, this might. I think this is a new one. This is July 1st.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
Cat flap. Jesus. I don't know who this is. Cat flap. Have you looked at the cat flap? How many did I get here? 7 entries.
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow, so we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig.
Blonde wig.
Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant, but I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers, drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD.
Okay.
When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
Wow, there's a lot there. So we've got this STD thing. Because if they're inhabiting the same body, that would really affect. That would really affect Hannah. I don't know if I should even put that as a tag. I want to rewatch it. There's so much there. There's this idea of the attic.
There would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents.
She had to go back to the attic.
Follow, so we were separated again. I stayed in the attic.
The attic might be like
it was hard.
Symbol for like
So
not
I suddenly didn't exist.
being the dominant personality.
I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant, but I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers, drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me.
I've got
she was
this
fatter, flushed.
physical differences.
If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it.
Own people.
We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in.
Move in.
And that was the plan.
Turning pregnant. Lots of stuff, man. That's a long clip. I'm gonna add that because there's lots of information in there. To add it twice. Can I do that? I guess not. Okay. So this is like almost right after that, I think. Oh no, that's like 11 minutes afterwards.
This was about 9. I went round and she was
9.
waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off.
Performing?
Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
From performing. So there's some kind of... Was she an actor or something? Actress? So we got this, the cause of the bruise here. She mentioned that she just bruises up sometimes, Hannah did. Comes and goes because she has a fast metabolism. This is at 9.
This was about 9.
9.
I went round.
It's
and
probably
she
Friday
was
at 9.
Waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger. And so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
So that sounds like if Simon left at 8, this argument probably happened at 9 on Friday. But I can't really put that into the timeline yet. I'm just writing it below here. Wait, at 9. Interesting. So wig, blonde wig? Already watched that one. Performance. Nothing. Job? Actually, I'm going off on a tangent. I gotta get back to what I was... So you got this cat flap. Ellen, I haven't looked up. Alibi. Oh wow, there's only one alibi? I want to find out more about the bruise. I'm starting to get to recognize them before I even watch the videos.
Bruise? Oh yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. We hurt like hell.
Bruise, okay. So she's saying that she hit her face on a cabinet. Cabinet. Interesting. I wasn't really watching her.
Oh yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face.
Oh, does she have a bruise on her face right now?
We hurt like hell.
Can't really see. So maybe this is actually later, after the murder or something. It's the 25th. Actually, let me just go back to this one, I think it was. The 9 p.m. thing. Oops. I think it was wig. Yeah. Third. I lost my train of thought there. Bruise. This is the first. This is the first interview on the 27th. I need to start writing dates on my timeline as well. I'm just writing Friday, Saturday. This is the first one, so that's the 18th. So I'm assuming that if she went to the police the Saturday, then the Saturday is the 18th. If that's when the first interview, if this is actually the first interview on the 18th, and this is when she first goes to see the police. June. And then this would be the 17th. What's interesting is I think they've kind of lined up the release of the game to coincide with these dates. It's just kind of cool. Okay, where was I? Bruise.
The bruise.
See,
I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes.
And then, so which bruise is she talking about here?
I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
So then, this bruise, she's pointing to the right side of her face in that video, which is on the 27th, and then on the 25th,
bruise.
she's on the other side of her face.
No, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen, and the chair slipped, and I kind of hit the door with my face. It hurt like hell.
So on the 25th of June, she has another bruise. Whether it happened that day or not, I don't know. So, that argument that she had with Hannah might have been on this day. Or with Eve. Man, my head's starting to spin with all this freaking information. This is what it's like to be a detective. It's hard, man. And this is in July. This is way later.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too.
Hurt too, obviously.
A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snapped a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen.
Oh.
Well, so much of our bodies was synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
What? They're like illnesses?
We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
So, like, Yeah. Now I'm getting the impression that maybe they're not. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity.
Okay.
It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
Until Simon. So, Eve seems to know that they're... Okay, she's under the impression that they're living the same life, and they're both taking turns doing different things. So if it is like a multiple personality thing going on here, and it doesn't seem like either of them is aware of it or wants to admit it. So I'm still not sure.
Differences?
Still not sure what the case is here.
She's a better driver.
Differences between them.
Boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let her see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
Man. Weird shit. Alright, what else is there? I don't want to look up. Alibi. Close. I looked up argument, I think, right? Arguments, yes. Cat flap. Cat flap. Let's look up the cat flap. So, Hannah mentioned, Hannah mentioned something to the police about, did you look at the cat flap? So, there must be more on that.
No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door.
So I guess she's trying to say that someone came in through the cat flap. And killed Simon, maybe?
No, no cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it. This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
The person doesn't exist. Blonde wig. I thought I already looked this up. Yeah, okay. Huh. Okay. Not too much about the cat flap. Let's look up Helen. Wait, two.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen.
Barmaid.
Said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
So she's the barmaid at the Rock. And let's or Helen.
No, I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
Blondes. Let's look that up. Blonde. There's the song again. That's kind of funny. More of the song. It's a funny moment.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean,
Hairs.
Could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
It's Rapunzel again. She talked about Rapunzel before, when she was looking at some pictures. And I have a feeling when she's looking at the pictures, those might have been like a psychiatric examination as opposed to like a police investigation, because I think they're on to that she's like got a multiple personality thing going on. Rapunzel, and we got where the hairs came from. Interesting. So they found these blonde hairs, and she's trying to explain where they came from. This was talking about the cat flapping in.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything.
What was this one again?
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome.
So this is like when she
That's one I have.
first talks to the police, and she thinks that Simon has disappeared, as opposed to being dead. Right, and that's right. Okay, so let's see. I think I had this. Oh, I couldn't figure out which one this was yet. This is before she starts singing the song.
I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay?
But we should look up guitar.
No. It's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street.
This song's a bit creepy, unless it's a different song.
There were two sisters came Both had a love for the captain's son, or the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one, all the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair, oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and a long blonde hair, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down, oh, the wind and the rain, watched her as she slowly drowned, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down, oh, the wind and the rain, floated till a ship came by, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Out comes the captain's son, oh, the wind and the rain, Father dear, here swims and swan, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
It does go really weird. Oh, I just got another achievement, a traditional ballad. Probably because I heard the entire song. Traditional ballad. What's interesting about that song is it talks about sisters, right? Pushing a sister in, kind of like killing her sister because they fall in love with the captain's son, who could be a symbol for Simon in this. And I'll see if I could find the rest of the song, because I want to hear the whole thing. I think I can hear it back to back. Look up song. Oh, so it's not going to show me the whole song.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but
Come Back and
I loved
Stay.
it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
So she's talking about just the two of us because, of course, her twin sister or whatever is always seems to be around her. So Come Back and Stay. That's a different song. Talking about first dance, and I get the impression that they married because she got pregnant, her and Simon, and it was kind of hastily thrown together. Simon's parents insisted they get married, I guess. First dance. First dance at wedding. I don't know what significance this has to the murder, but let's see if there's like proposal. Anything on that? No. Wedding. Okay. Some more stuff on the wedding. This is her with the mirror. There seems to only really be one major interview with Eve, and that's this one here, where she's wearing the white shirt.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch.
Oh, the watch.
It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste.
Watch.
That time. You must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Okay. I forgot to look up the watch, so... Watch... Diane chose it. Eric. Gift from Eric. And it's evidence, clearly. What else?
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift.
Wedding anniversary.
Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time. You must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Must eliminate me. Interesting. Gazlow. I was supposed to rate Gazlow. Glasgow. Glasgow. I think that's how you spell it. Alibi? But that's so weird because, like, it's pretty obvious to me that she's waiting. She's waiting for him to come back after he runs off. How could she be in Glasgow? Like, okay, this is really weird. Like, it seems like they're talking about two different murders. So we definitely need to look up more on this watch. She's got a tattoo there.
We were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos.
So the wedding was at 17.
His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding.
Yeah.
But if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
What does she look at?
Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
It's weird that she looks over to the side and then stops talking. So shotgun wedding is this has got to be Hannah. Shotgun wedding is, like I said, is someone gets impregnated and they just like get married really fast. Six entries. So the watch is the next thing that I'm interested in. It's probably gonna be lots. Only 5. Okay, and we've seen most of them. So the reason why I'm typing in twin 1 and 2 is I'm trying to... There seems to be 2 people here. I'm not sure if it's 2 distinct people or if it's like Hannah and Eve, I think are their names, and I'm not sure if it's multiple personalities in the same body or if it's actually two distinct people. You'll have to go back if you missed it to watch some of the previous the YouTube videos that I'm going to post to go through the history of them. But there's a lot of really weird history.
He was wearing
between the two of them
a shirt, with a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Okay, so this is the night that this is the day that Hannah goes to the police to report Simon missing. She's describing him, what she's wearing, or what he was wearing. Wearing. Disappeared. I don't know if that's how you spell disappeared. I thought there would be a lot more on the watch.
He was wearing he would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
I feel like she's setting up something with that. Yeah. Let's watch that one already.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once and I held Eve's head underwater. There was
Great.
no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach and I held her head under and I kept it up. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
So, yeah. What does this have to do with the watch, though? Why did this come up when I searched for watch? Probably because she says, like, watch her drown or something. Yeah. What was this one again?
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
I want more of this video. I need to find more of this part. So, I tried searching alibi, and that's just more of that part. Let's go. No. Let's look up Eric. Got some more stuff here. So this is from the first interview.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look
There's a van. Van. Okay, so Cavalier and van.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
Pays with cash. Okay. 14 for Eric. This twin one.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were
This is
pretty
like-
close.
this
They
is
spend
Hannah
a lot
again.
of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
I think I already wrote Diane down here somewhere. Alright, I'm getting a bit tired, so guys, I'm gonna take a break. You're welcome to chill out if you want to. I might just probably be back in like a half an hour, because I'm getting a little bit hungry and need to just step away from this for a second, because I'm starting to kind of lose focus. So yeah, chill out if you want to, and I'll be back in like half an hour, or you can come back in a half hour. It's up to you. See you guys in a bit. Thanks for watching.